Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, I'm going back to count down my 100 favorite movies of all time. This time I'm doing number 55 through number 51 on my list, so rounding up the bottom 50 on my top 100. Yeah, I got a lot of great stuff here. Definitely got one old classic here that I still love since I was a kid. Got some musicals, got a couple musicals here as well, and some adventure movies and great comedy. Hope you enjoy this, my 5 movies here that I'm going to talk about here. So let's get to it. I'm Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, hope everybody's doing well here on a, I always forget what day it is every time I do this video. It's a Thursday night. Thursday kind of early evening period. Yeah, going back to starting, I've been counting down my 100 favorite movies all time. This is thanks to Jackson from Horsetooth Cinema, who won my contest for guessing the most Oscar winners and all that. And this is his suggestion, doing my 100 favorite movies of all time. And so, yeah, down to counting down from 55 to 51. So number 55, this is really one of the oldest movies on my list. One I grew up on, still love it. That's The Wizard of Oz from 1939. I mean, what can you say? An absolute classic movie. I mean, it's been on TV. Like I said, I watched this all the time as a kid. Always loved it as a kid. It doesn't hurt that Dorothy's from Kansas. I'm from Kansas. So to me, it's like a great movie if you're a Kansan like me. Easy to root for Dorothy. But man, it still holds up, I think. I even watched it not too long ago. I went to the museum in Wamego, Kansas. There's a cool little museum there, small town kind of. But yeah, not a big museum, but has a lot of good memorabilia there. I even bought a book there about the making of the movie. Yeah, what I love about it, of course, I don't know. I love, of course, the music is great. I mean, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is one of the greatest music songs of all time in movie history. Still holds up as a great song, but everything from, The Witch is Dead and Follow the Yellow Brick Road and If I Only Had a Brain or Only Had a Heart. And yeah, so many great iconic songs in there that I still enjoy quite a bit. I also love the costuming. Like, I really love all the costuming. It's iconic, of course. But even though this is 1939, I'm still like enjoying the way they did the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion. I don't know. I really like this style of it works sometimes in the sense that you put a guy in a lion costume and the actor just kills it. He's absolutely hilarious. I'm trying to remember his name. I think his name's Burt Lahr. Ray Bolger's always been my favorite. Scarecrow, I've always loved Scarecrow. The physical comedy is so good. But Burt Lahr, you have to give up to him. His Lion, so hilarious. He's also a great physical comedian. Today, the Lion would be a CGI character, and I would hate it. So I was like, I always go back to, I'd rather put a guy in a costume than give me a CGI character nowadays. I still kind of, even though I'm like, okay, I know that's a guy in a costume, but I still, that's fine. I still enjoy the character so much. I also love the overall production, set designs. When they first I love of course, the black and white to then color when you get to Oz. And even though I look at it and I go, yeah, that's all, set designs and that's a matte painting. I don't know. I really like it. Like, I think it's a really well designed movie overall. Yeah, still get a kick out of this. Classic for a reason. Still in my top 100 here at number 55, The Wizard of Oz. 54 is another movie I grew up on and I always loved, still love today. great action, adventure, romance. And that is The Princess Bride, which I got the Criterion Collection here, which is pretty cool. A lot of good special features, including audio commentary by Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner, great director. He's directed a couple of my favorite movies. It's from 1987. Yeah, like I said, it's for a kid, man, this is like, for a guy, for a little boy, this is like the ultimate movie. Like, that's why I've always loved it. Maybe some of this is nostalgia, but I still think it's a fun movie. I think that's what it comes down to, is it's still, I get a lot of laughs. I think it's a very funny movie. The action scenes are actually really well done. I mean, I've always loved, to me, one of the probably greatest sword fight scene of all time is in this movie between the main guy, I'm forgetting his name, Wesley, played by Carrie Ells, who I think does a great job here. But Wesley and Inigo Montoya, who is played so magnificent. Mandy Patinkin. He should have got an Oscar nomination. I think his performance was so good. He has some good dramatic moments, really good dramatic moments, and it's just an iconic character and one of the best lines of all time. My name is Inigo Montoya, whatever. I'm not saying it right. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Oh, great line. Even As You Wish. What a great line. And anybody's watched that, you use that line as a use of you love somebody as you wish. I mean, so great. But yeah, that sword fight scene, still, it's a little over the top, but it's still such a fun sword fight scene. A lot of skill in there as well. They really did a good job on that. I mean, Andre the Giant, of course, being a wrestling fan, it's so cool seeing Andre the Giant in there. And he's not a good actor, but yeah, he fits the character so well. It's a good performance. He's just made for that role. Wallace Shawn comes in just for a short moment, has some great stuff as Fitzwig or something, Fitzy, who, inconceivable, he has some great lines, and he's absolutely hilarious in the small part as well. Robin Wright's beautiful. She's great as well. I can go on and on, but how many great these performances are. Like I said, I laugh so much, especially when you get Wesley, Montoya, and Andre Giant, his character. When you get those three together, man, those three are such good chemistry. They're hilarious. Of course, I have to mention Billy Crystal coming in as Miracle Max. That whole scene, absolutely hilarious. They work off, obviously, some good improvising, I think. They're by Billy Crystal. Have fun storming the castle and all that kind of stuff. Oh, there's so many great moments. Marriage is what brings us together today. So many great lines. What can you say? I get just a blast out of this, and I actually kind of get emotional, and I cry a little bit tear at the end when the grandfather is. And there's this whole cool thing about the whole thing. The whole movie is the grandfather telling a story to his grandson who's sick, and I love that whole arc of that character of the son not wanting to hear the story. Then he's kind of interested in it, and then by the end of the story, he loves it. And then he says to his grandfather, come back and read it again. And the grandfather says, as you wish, which we established means I love you. Oh, it's like so great. Like, I get emotional with the grandfather and son, who's such a small part of the movie. But anyways, yeah, love this movie. Number 54, Princess Bride. All right, number 53, going with one of my favorite musicals, actually, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which, it's funny, in fact, just the other day, I was talking to some coworkers, and they love this movie as well. We were talking about how great this movie is. There's some people that I don't feel like this is touted as much as one of the great musicals, but it's better than some of the other classics that everybody talks about. Like Singing in the Rain, to me, is just a really boring movie, and story-wise, the songs aren't really that great. The dance numbers are fine, but they go on too long. I say this is so much better than Singing in the Rain. It's so funny. The musical numbers are good, but it's really the dancing. The dancing is phenomenal. That's where I think the dancing in this is way better than Singing in the Rain. I think the characters are way more interesting than Singing in the Rain. I think it's just a better paced movie than Singing in the Rain. Better ending. everything you can say. This is like, man, if you like Singing in the Rain, like you gotta watch this movie. This movie, to me, blows it out of the water. And I compare the two because I feel like there's some similarities between what they're trying to do as a movie. But yeah, I would just say more except that it's great cast. I mean, you got the Howard Keel as the head brother, Adam, who goes and finds a wife. Jane Powell plays his new wife, and she doesn't realize he has 6 brothers that live with him, and they're all like farmers. And so then she has to like, and they're very, not very cultured, and they don't know how to be around women, and so she's trying to, help them how to talk to women and how to not be so rough and tough, and and all that, and try to get them wives themselves. That's kind of the whole movie. That's why it's called, of course, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, trying to get women for these 6 brothers. But it's, like I said, the musical numbers just so great. And it's just really funny. That's the other thing. It's just, I laugh so much. I watch it so many times. I keep laughing every time I watch it. Love the character, especially my favorite has always been Russ Tamlin. He's the youngest brother, Gabriel, or is it Gabriel? You also know him from West Side Story, which he's great in West Side Story as well. He's very acrobatic in his dancing and stuff like that. Very fun to watch. Yeah, if you haven't watched this movie, it's like, man, this is one. I know if you say, oh, I don't like musicals, but man, this is so fun. I still think if you don't like musicals, you have to check it out. There's so much great stuff in here. It has a good commentary, a director commentary, lots of good special features as well. But yeah, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, one of my favorite musicals here at number 53. Number 52 is one of my favorite comedies of all time. One I saw in the theater and laughed so hard, and that is Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, the Will Ferrell comedy. It was such a great time period for Will Ferrell. He's putting out some of the best comedies I've ever seen, starting with Anchorman. It's this Adam McKay, Will Ferrell combo that's done so well, because Adam McKay and Will Ferrell write the screenplay for Anchorman, and Adam McKay directs that movie. Huge hit. They followed up with this one, which I think is even funnier and better than Anchorman, even though I think Anchorman's absolutely hilarious as well. Again, Adam McKay directing, Adam and Will writing, and Will starring in it as well, creating this really funny NASCAR kind of redneck character. And then one of the great, I don't know, John C. Reilly, like, this is such a great duo. They went and do Step Brothers together, and then they did a really horrible Holmes and Watson movie, unfortunately. But man, their chemistry's so good. The Shake and Bake, love that. After that, man, everybody was saying Shake and Bake. That was such a fun line to say. Really great cast of characters. I mean, it's funny, they show these characters here. Of course, was it Sacha Baron Cohen playing the villain? A little over the top, but, funny himself. And then it's funny, they show Michael Clark Duncan here, who plays kind of a more minor supporting part, who's fine in here as well. I wish I can see all there's so many great great supporting, hilarious comedic characters in here. Jack McBrayer, so great. What's his name? I don't have it on the back of here, but there's so many great kind of character. Molly Shannon has like a really small part in here as well. I mean, just like every character, they put in someone hilarious, and even the small parts have hilarious. Rob Riggle shows up and has like maybe one line in the movie, and Rob Riggle is a really funny actor. So I mean, really well cast. And what really makes it great, I think, I mean, it's a silly idea for a movie, just about this guy, NASCAR racer, who then loses his way, then has to come back and loses his wife to his best friend. And Amy Adams is in this, and she's great, which is crazy. You go, oh wow, they even got Amy Adams, one of the best actresses in my opinion, on here, doing a comedic role. Yeah, so Jane, I keep thinking of new people. What's her name? I wish I had it in my head, but his mom in it, so great as well. And dad is pretty. Cole is Gary Cole. Yeah, Gary Cole is so great as well. I just I can't believe what great cast of characters they have here. Um, but yeah, most of it I think is because you can sense that they are definitely improvising in the roles, because there's so many times where they go, all right, they come up with a funny bit, and then they just keep hitting joke after joke after joke, and you go, man, they probably just came up with this bit and they kept saying, hey, how about this joke, and they threw it at it, and how about this joke, and how about this joke, and they probably threw 20 jokes, and they took like the three best jokes and put them in the movie, or what they thought were the three best ones. And I get that sense of a lot of scenes where I'm like, okay, this isn't needed, but it's so funny. I'm glad they put it in the movie, and it was just brilliant. Whoever came up with the idea was brilliant. So there's a lot of that. You just get a lot of funny actors together that can improvise, and somehow they make the scene better because they just come up with funny ideas on their own. Besides, Adam McKay is a really good comedic writer. He was the head writer on Saturday Night Live, and so he's good at coming up with jokes on the spot as well. So I mean, it's just the combination of everybody has just worked so well. That's why I come up with this absolutely hilarious idea of a movie about a NASCAR driver, which is great. And I saw it in theater, and I just died laughing. I remember just coming out going, "Wow, that's maybe the funniest comedy I've ever seen in my life." When I saw it, and I need to say, I got the DVD version. I recommend buying the DVD and not the Blu-ray, because the DVD has the funniest commentary I've ever seen in my life. It's called 25 Years Later, and you have a lot of characters. I mean, Will Ferrell and Anne McKay started off, but then John C. Reilly comes in like midway or a little bit into the commentary. Michael Clark Duncan comes in, Jack McBrayer, I know. Again, I'm forgetting. There's another actor I really like in this movie that I'm forgetting his name. Keckner. Keckner is absolutely hilarious. He's one of my favorite comedic actors. He comes in the commentary, and they all pretend like they're doing the commentary 25 years in the future. So they're making up all these future events that haven't, obviously haven't happened. And the stuff they make up in the commentary is just out there and so hilarious. And the rest of them have to pretend like it's real because they're doing improvisation. So when you're improvising, when someone says something crazy, you have to go with it to make it funny. Because if you say, no, that didn't happen, then it ruins the joke. So you have to go with it. So the fact that they can improv, the commentary has nothing to do with the movie. Like, they won't give you any insight into the movie, which is usually why you want commentaries, to give you insight in what was like behind the scenes. How did you shoot this scene? What do you think about this? All this has nothing to do with the movie. It's just them making up, just doing this whole bit, the whole movie. They're just doing the whole bit, just making things up and being hilarious. And it is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's why I have the DVD version, because the Blu-ray version doesn't have this commentary in it. It has a different commentary that's not as funny. So yeah, I buy this just to watch. Even if you don't listen to commentaries normally, I would say buy this, listen to the commentary. It's the greatest thing ever. Anyway, so enough to say about Talladega Nights. So funny. I'm a big Will Ferrell fan, though. He's probably my favorite comedic actor of all time, as well. All right, so last movie I'm going to talk about, 51. Is another, I would say, musical, but also one of my favorite franchises, I guess. I wish they would make more movies, and this is the Muppets. Again, Amy Adams again. I really love Amy Adams. Man, this was so cool when I saw this in theater, because I grew up a Muppets fan. Like, I watched all the original ones, Muppets original movie, Muppets Take Manhattan, The Great Muppet Caper. Great Muppet Caper is really always my favorite movie growing up, the Muppets. Always a big fan of that. And then I was so excited when they brought Muppets back in the 90s with Muppet Christmas Carol, which is my personal favorite Muppet movie, which I guess I'll spoil, that movie would be higher on my list here because I like it better than this movie even. And then I saw Muppet Treasure Island Theater, and I thought that was really great, and I still think that's a really good movie. I need to get that one as well. I don't have that one at the moment. And then they kind of ruined it with Muppets in Space, was terrible. And then it seemed like Muppets were dead. Like, we didn't have a Muppet movie, it felt like, for quite a long time. And I remember missing it. And then when they came out with this, was kind of like a comeback for the Muppets, because we hadn't had one for a while. And they even treat the movie as a comeback, because in the movie, it's kind of based on this new character, Walter, up here, this new kind of Muppet character who is a Muppet fan, but the Muppet Theater is gonna bought out by this Texas tycoon, oil tycoon, and he's going to destroy the Muppet Theater. And so he wants to keep the Muppets alive, so he tries to get all the Muppets together to put on a show to save the theater. I mean, it's simple kind of, we've seen that kind of plot before, but it's a perfect plot for this movie because it's real meta for real life. It's like in the movie, they're trying to get the Muppets back together. In real life, we're getting the Muppets back together. So super nostalgic. That's what really works for this movie. And I'm super nostalgic for the Muppets. You know, I even watched the Muppets TV show back in the day. You know, loved all that. And yeah, so it's really cool that they kind of matched that story with real life. But it's not just about the story, but also it's absolutely hilarious. So many great jokes. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking. I love fourth wall breaking jokes. And so they have plenty of those fourth wall breaking jokes that they always had, those meta jokes that they know that they're in a movie kind of thing. I love all that. And then also the music. The music is absolutely fantastic. It's probably my favorite music soundtrack that they've done. Man or Muppet won the Oscar. That's not even my favorite. Pictures in My Head is such an amazing song. It's so kind of sad. It's a song about, you know, looking in the past, and it's kind of a sad song, but it's beautifully written. It's not funny. It's a beautiful song that Kermit sings early in the movie. I remember hearing that and going, wow, what a great written song, and musically amazing. Like, that should have won the Oscar, but Man Muppet is a funny song and also really well sung. So I'm fine with that winning. The opening song is so good as well. Sing a Happy Song, I think it's called. That song is so fun, and it's like an homage to old musicals, the way it opens up and has kind of this old musical feel to it. Oh, love it. You even got like Mickey Rooney making a cameo in there. He was in a lot of old musicals, so I love that. Yeah, but yeah, if you love the Muppets, man, you gotta love this movie and love everybody come back together. Thanks to Jason Segel. He was kind of the one who kind of not only leads the movie, but also was one of the writers, I believe, of the movie, with Brett McKenzie, who directs it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capture the same magic. They did another movie after this, which I think is okay. It's not a bad movie, but it doesn't, I don't know, it kind of killed the franchise again because they haven't done another Muppet movie since the next one. So I don't know when they're going to make another one. I'm all for it. I hope they come up with another good idea to bring the Muppets back to the cinema, because I'm right there. I always want to see more Muppets. Anyway, so this is my second favorite Muppet movie, I guess I would say, overall. So it's at number 51 on my list. So that's my 55 to 51. Please feel free to comment. What do you think about these movies? Which one's your favorite? You know, and all that. Love to read your comments, and just thank you to everybody who comments. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And just thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all.